ఎక్కువ మంది ఇక్కడ ఫస్ట్ ఇయర్ స్టూడెంట్స్ ఉన్నారని చెప్పారు. ఫస్ట్ ఇయర్ అండ్ సెకండ్ ఇయర్ స్టూడెంట్స్. మీ అందరికీ చెప్పేది ఏంటంటే, this is an incredible journey that you are starting. This journey will not only challenge your intellect, but it will shape your future and creates a meaningful purpose. This is not something that every human being gets an opportunity. Right? Becoming a doctor is a divine gift. And if you make use of it in a right way, you will be one of the most happy human being on the earth. If you look at a lot of the political leaders, some of them have established their name first as a doctor, a good doctor. You can look at it around the iconic leaders around India and the world, including me. First, being a doctor gives you a platform. So this is an opportunity to see yourself for the next 40, 50 years, what you want to be, and you are at the great start. And if you look at the medical college, right, when you start, you are stepping into a different part of your life. There are also numerous challenges when you become a doctor. At least for me, in year 2000, I studied 27th rank in Telugu medium at that time. So English was not the major subject that I mastered. It was hard when I entered into a medical college to start studying everything in English. And but it was a new language, like almost like learning a new language. Medicine itself is a new language. It's a completely different. From that time onwards, if you look at now, the information overload has become even greater. I think 25 years back, the number of drugs were smaller. Now every day you're seeing a new drug coming into the market. You all have to understand their mechanism of action, adverse effects, clinical uses. The number of investigations have increased exponentially, and you have to know the sensitivities, specificities, the pathophysiology of conditions. When we were studying, if you look at a lot of the disease conditions, the pathophysiology, the answer is simple unknown. Now, a lot of the diseases are invented. Why these things happen? Not at the macro level, at the micro level, cellular level, nuclear level. Understanding the deep immunology, molecular biology, all these require a different type of motivation, intellectual capacity. You look at the treatments, not only the pharmacologic, you have a lot more new treatments for almost every condition, from interventional to invasive procedures. So how are you going to overcome these challenges? So my speech is going to be at least the challenges that I encountered during my medical college, and I wish I had someone told me at that time, this is how you should be. So to get this large body of information into the brain, fortunately you also have a lot more new tools. At that time there was no internet. You're probably stuck with the professor, whoever they gave you, and that person may or may not know how to teach. But these days you don't have to deal with that, right? Any topic that you want, you can go to YouTube. In YouTube, literally every topic is explained by at least 4 to 5 best professors in the world. All you need is an interest, curiosity, that you really want to understand the disease process. That's number one. And number two, you have new ways of learning, flashcards, mnemonics, chat GPTs, where you can really fine-tune the information you're looking for. And number three, most importantly, if you really want to understand, the best way is to teach somebody. Because the minute you want to teach somebody, you need to understand it deeply. That is the best way to learn. So if you follow these 3 or 4 metrics, how much ever the knowledge is, you can also prioritize what topics are really important, and depending on what subspecialty or super specialty you are planning to go, so you can prioritize. So the bottom line is learn smarter, but not just harder. Number 2, time management. So when you get into medical school, you have to attend all these classes, you have to learn, you have to prepare for the exams. You may not have time to spend with your friends, family that you used to. So how would you organize? And you have to take care of yourself as well. So this time management, people can take it lightly, but if you are really diligent, putting every task you want to do in a Google Calendar or any other calendar, there are a lot of time management tools freely available on the internet. If you do it, and that means doing means literally pinpointing it. For example, you want to, because when you get really busy, you forget your friends, you forget your family, but those are important tasks. So maybe every week, half an hour, I'm going to make this time to make a call for my childhood friends or my family members or something else. Whatever you wanted to, you list it like that. The time management will become extremely important. And you need to have a mindset, because this hard work is not going to last forever. And if you have a mindset, okay, next 2 to 3 years, I'm not going to be, because when you are learning so much new information, you have to study countless hours, right? This is a competitive world. So having the mindset for the next 2 to 3 years, I'm going to be busy. It's not going to be like this for the rest of my life, but let me give my best. So turning that mindset will also make you less anxious and stressful. So manage, the bottom line is manage your time, otherwise it will manage you. Okay. Number 3, high expectations and self-doubt. Because when you are in your high school, you must be the most smartest person in that, right? Or maybe top 5, top 10. It was a case for me also. Because when in my high school, I was one of the smart. Then I went to the Usmania. I look at these rankers, 5th rank, 1st rank, 2, 3 rank people. I study 4 hours, these guys study 1 to 2 hours and they do better than me. I said, how come is this possible? Right? So naturally, there are some people that are highly gifted. When they read it, their understanding might be different from you guys. So you have to understand the big picture. You do not have to compete with everybody in this world. The world is so large, everybody has a place in this world. Just because somebody is much smarter and work harder doesn't mean you are behind. So do not compare in a negative way, but use them as benchmarks. Wow, that person is able to manage better than me. And how can I get to that stage? So having that mindset will also actually help you. And find, when you have this self-doubt, whether can I really pass these exams, that's when you need help. You need to find really good mentors. Those could be your professors or your school teachers, maybe some of your family members who are quite successful, they can help you, and even some of your friends. So having that open mind and willing to seek help, you really have to go and ask. Unless you go and ask somebody, nobody is going to tell you. So this is having that, not having a perfection mindset is important. So the bottom line is aim for progress, not for perfection. Number 4, emotional and physical fatigue. This is also could be daunting, right? Because when you are working so much, at some point it will get you. So when you make these calendars, you really have to make regular time breaks. what is it that's going to make you relieved, happy? Whether it is, doing yoga or maybe playing a badminton, whatever that might be, put it in the calendar. Take short breaks, 10-15 minutes, so that it will help you. Then you should also give very, I would say, deep importance to the sleep, because you can get carried away with all these smartphones and not sleep, drink coffees in the evening. So having a proper sleep, whatever 7-8 hours each, it depends for each individual, having that sleep, eating balanced diet, and exercise. I cannot tell you how important the exercise is, right? A lot of you take it granted. Again, you need that 20 minutes. You don't need to exercise in hours and hours. Every day, maybe 20 minutes, or at least every alternate day, 30 minutes. You have to see, when I was in medical school, in year 2000, 1994, so 94 is when I started, there used to be very few people that used to have gyms and exercise. Only Salman Khan used to show his body at that time. Even those days, I used to have my home gym. Not everybody is, those days there are no gyms and everything, right? So I bought my own equipment. I used to do 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Now these days you have everywhere, all the facilities, sport facilities. It doesn't have to be gym, or it could be a badminton, tennis, whatever the game, every other day or at least every day. Make that a habit. You would be surprised how much it will help you. So, unless you are both emotionally, physically charged, you will not function in the long run. So, bottom line, you can pour from an empty cup. So, fill your cup first. Number 5, stay connected. This is again very important, right? Academic rigor is equally important with the social connection and personal time. Again, as I said, every week may take a time, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, talk to your people. I mean, connections means these are real connections. So I would put it, prioritize your real connections over endless scrolling. Scrolling and meeting just over the phone are not real connections. Real connections are the people who will help you when you are in difficult times, when they know that you don't have anything to offer them, but they are selflessly giving you something. Usually you're not going to find more than 3 or 4 people. If you are lucky, maybe 5-6, because every human being in general is a selfish person. So giving somebody other than your family members, you won't find unless you are an exceptional person. But find those people and make sure you don't lose them. And then 6th, fear of failure. Some of you may be wondering, maybe I might fail in this class. The thought of failure, because you have been such an achiever all this time, will make you stressed out. I want to let you know, 40% of my class in Osmania failed first year exams. 40%. And almost all of them are quite successful, and some of them are phenomenally successful. So failure is a part of your life. So don't let that drag you. Failure doesn't define you, but only make you stronger. You learn from it, why that happened, and move on. And then 7, don't compare with non-doctors. Right? Non-doctors again will be having a lot of fun when you guys are working left and right. So I hear this all the time. My friends and other people, are the younger generation, will tell me, some of my doctors, they will tell me, Dr. Pemmasani, we are studying like crazy, and all my friends, they are in engineering and other schools, they're having so much fun. They go to these movies, they play, they do whatever they want, but we are missing all that stuff. So what you need to understand is, God has chosen you to serve the needy. Right? Not everybody is chosen by the God, only few people, and you are lucky in that way. And what you get versus what they get is different. What they might get is immediate gratification, but what you get is a lifelong gratification. And how you would get it? You delay your gratification for the next 4 years. Once you become an exceptional doctor, you get an immense respect. Respect is not something you can buy with the money. That will only come with your hard work, your values, and all the stuff. Second, you will also make a lot more money than any of them. Number 3, you will get all the resources and support staff for rest of your life compared to other people. So these are the delayed gratification. So don't compare yourself. So the bottom line is lifelong respect and impact. Your journey as a doctor is worth the wait. Number 8, finally, this is the most important than all of these. Medicine is not just about memorizing the facts. It is more than that. When you become a doctor, you really have to cultivate that you are not treating an individual patient. See, in any busy day, people will treat 40, 50, or maybe some people might even see 100 patients. For you guys, or for me also, anybody, it is one patient, one after another. For them, it is a whole family, right? You look at, imagine a mother or a father or a 15-year-old child, whoever may be your patient, right? 15-year-old child, their father and mother might be having a lot of aspirations about that child. Same thing with the mother, right? A small mistake that any of you or any doctor does will have a profound impact on a whole family. Just that feeling alone, actually having the deep understanding of that feeling alone, is what made me to build a multi-billion-dollar business. I'll tell you why. Because when I was studying medicine, I always wanted to make sure I should not do a single mistake intentionally by lack of medical knowledge. So I started studying very passionately and I started teaching others. Then I understood the medicine so well. Then I thought, since I understood it so well, why can't I teach this to other people? That is how the U World was born. So this idea, because the way you treat patients, the way you talk to them, and the way you understand them, because when you doctor doesn't mean just writing a prescription. You can write the best medicine, but they should have the money to buy that medicine. And unknowingly, the small things that you do will make a profound impact. You don't know how, but it will happen. I'll tell you my example. When I was in internship, there were some families, really poor families, especially in Usmania. We have all the Muslim community in that area, Usmania, medical college, and very poor, lot of poverty there. They could not even afford even basic medicine. Sometimes, at that time, I don't remember how much, I used to get 5,000 or something internship. I used to give some of my money for them to get medicines if they don't have it. All those small acts will help you unknowingly. And there is a lot of invisible positive energy that builds around us. So you have to think like that nobody is watching you, and you have to have that inner philosophy of helping people in every aspect. When you continuously do that, you will accumulate so much goodwill, and that's what will give you at the end of the day full satisfaction. So with that, bottom line is treat every patient like a family. Their lives depend on your compassion and care. If you follow some of these principles, I can guarantee you will be, I would say, one of the most happy person, right? Everybody might be thinking money is the most, but money is not the one that gives you happiness. So when I was in post-graduation, once I finished my post-graduation in US, while I was building U World, I took a teaching faculty position. I was not making that much money. At that time, the faculty job you actually pays much lesser than in private practice in US. If I remember correctly, $140,000 at that time in a city. If you practice privately outside, you would be making at least 250 to 300. That means close to 80 to 100% more. But I was so passionate about teaching and learning, so I did not really care about that extra $150,000. But of course, later on, money came to me enormously with the product and other stuff. But my point here is you really have to follow your passion rather than chasing the money. That is really important. So in keeping all of these, the road is long for you guys and sometimes arduous, but the destination is profoundly rewarding. You have the potential to make a significant impact in countless lives. Having said that, I also wanted to thank the NRI Medical College administrators, dean, principals. There are not many medical colleges that has this kind of equipment, advanced facilities, most importantly, a thoughtful, dedicated, efficient leadership. Because things just don't happen like this. Right? Things happen only when some people care. And I could see, me being a person who pays very close attention to the details, I know what it takes to maintain these kind of large facilities. So I wholeheartedly congratulate you, sir, for all of you for doing this. And you all, for some reason, are very lucky too. Right? When I was in medical college, I never saw CT scan at that time. But I still have to understand what the findings of CT scan for any disease. So it's very hard without looking at it. Those days there was not much internet, right? In 94, there is no internet. So everything was an imagination. But for you guys, you have all the world-class facilities in this hospital. Make use of it. Become the best of yourself and serve the community. Thank you.